I'm Ben and this is Readysetink, and today we're talking about all of the Sapphire cards in Azurite. See, why are we doing that? We want to know what cards are out there. We want to know their abilities, and we want to be able to recall them real quick. So we're here to memorize, think of spicy decks, and whatever else. This is Ben, and my name's Ben, so I like this card a lot. This is the Bioelectronic Navigator. This is Captain Nathaniel Flint's trusty henchman, Ben. And Captain Nathaniel Flint removed his memory core and stuff, and then Ben went crazy. And it's too bad that we don't have a Nathaniel Flint card. Am I right? Maybe one day. This is the eccentric robot, the 4/3 stat line, super good. But what's even better, drumroll, is he has support. That's right. This thing supports for 4. That's a huge amount. He's like a goat because you can get 2 lore because you're going to be able to quest bro here. Give 4 strength support to anybody you want, anybody at all. And then they can take out whoever they want because 4 strength on top of whatever else strength is going to be a wombo combo for sure. I like Ben. I think he's a good card. I like his name. And yes, this is Aunt Cass, and thank the good Lord we got Aunt Cass in this set. Look at that. She's got 2 little, what is that, root beer? I don't know. She's happy. She's the biggest fan of the storyboard. Mentor, the 1/3 stat line. That's pretty good, but she has the whenever this character quest shows an invented character, gets +1 list lore this turn. It's too bad it's not all inventor characters like that Anna does. Like, you'd have to be a 4 cost. Here's shouting out that Aunt Cass gets a Floodborn card. That's just the dream. I don't know what to tell you. There's Gadget Hack Wrench, the creative thinker, and this card in sealed is 100% always ink. You always want to ink this card or not play it at all, am I right? It's got the whenever you play an item, this character gets +1 lore this turn, but you're not going to be able to get no lore in sealed events because there's not a whole lot of items that you want to play. Like Megabot's 1 item, and then I think that's just about it in this set that you want to play for items in your sealed set. She might be cool with Oswald and a whole bunch of microbots. Maybe she's here for microbots, but I don't think so. She's got some crazy stuff going on. This looks like to be a paperclip, but it's got some like Christmas stuff going on, but it's attached to a battery. Don't like the sound of that. Golly, a perfect wing nut. There's about 1 million uses for that. The wing nut. This thing, this hidden Mickey. Wing nut. This is a Gadget Hack Wrench, and it can shift on top of this Gadget Hack Wrench because they have the same name. Shift 4. You may play 4 ink to play this on top of one of your characters named Gadget Hack Wrench, and the other Gadget Hack Wrench is over there. You can also shift it on top of this one. It has the when you have more than 3 or more items to play, you pay 1 less to play inventor characters. Kind of hard to stack up. Kind of hard to get all the way up to 6 ink and then be like, oh yeah, I'm going to have plenty of inventor characters that I want to reduce the cost of because I have so many cards to play. Zuga Booga. This is the enchanted version. Ooh, the Gadget Hack Wrench. Brilliant Boson? What's that about? 3/6 stat line. Not the best stat lines because you know who. And I don't know. She's super rare. They were really betting on her doing something. She's in the starter deck, so maybe that's why she's a super rare. I don't know. This is Zipper, the astute decoy. The 2/2 stat line's not the best, but it has ward, so that is the best. During your turn, whenever a card is put in your inkwell, which is probably once a turn, another chosen character gains resist +1 until the start of your next turn. That is so sick. If you put 2 cards in your inkwell, you can give somebody resist 2 or spread out the love. So good, because it stacks. It's +1. And then 2 lore on top of that. Pretty good. Maybe you just put this down like a buddy. I think it should have costed 2. But maybe that'd be too good. This is a good card. Not the best. It's pretty niche. He's stepping on a bottle cap. Is that a bottle cap? Let me know in the comment section down below. This is Oswald. Everybody's talking about the Oswald. It's got the 2 strength, 1 willpower, which is good that he has 1 willpower because if Tinkerbell comes into play, boom, you can get rid of the Oswald. Only $21 for the foil because we have the D23 variant that's open to like $90. That's crazy. During your turn, whenever a card is put in your inkwell, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it is an item card, you may play that item for freezies and it enters play exerted Z's. Otherwise, put it on bottom of your deck. So lots of times, the card that you'll actually want It'll just have to go to the bottom of your deck. But if it's an item card, if you're playing like 19 items, that's like a 1 out of 4 chance, or a 1 out of 3. If it's 19, that's 60 cards in the deck. That's almost a third of the deck. 1 out of 3 chance to get an item card. It's almost worth it. And then he also quests for 2. He can close out games. If you get a dime with Oswald, he's done his part. And then if you dime onto Oswald, if you get the 2 lore off of Oswald, you have to wait a turn because the item enters play exerted. But if you play a card like Audrey Ramirez from sets ago, was that set 2? Audrey Ramirez was from set 3 into the Inklands. She has Ward, and she has whenever this character quests, ready one of your items. So if Oswald gets you a dime, and then your Audrey Ramirez quest, then you can use dime that turn, and then it's no big deal. But that's too much of a wombo combo to pull off, if you ask me. Oswald's probably one of the best legendaries that we got in this set. It's one of like the 3 good playable cards, legendaries that we got in this set. If you don't know about Oswald, you can watch some of my videos about Oswald. As anyone with Oswald in the thumbnail, I do really bad at playing. Like, I usually just do the memes and always go for trying to get an item instead of winning. Like, I could quest and stuff, but I always just lose with Oswald. I'm not a blue player. If you're looking at me and you're like, hey, this guy's a Sapphire player, you'd be wrong. I'm an Emerald Steel player through and through. It's just who I am. This is Yokai from Yokai Watch. He's a 3/3 character. He can quest for 2, but his ability is what makes him cool today. It says whenever this character quests, you may return one of your items to your hand to pay 2 less for the next item you play this turn. So if you return a card like Popsicle to your hand, that's a crazy deal. Or if you return a card like Fortisphere to your hand, that's a crazy deal because then you pay 2 less to play the next item. So if you have a bigger item like Fishbone Quill, you could only pay 1 to play down the Fishbone Quill. Or if you replay that Popsicle, then that's value right there. Then you're paying 0 to play a Popsicle and draw a card. You're paying 0 to draw a card. That's a crazy deal. This has almost the ability, whenever this character quests, you can pay 0 to draw a card. Pretty good. Or it can be worth something else. It can be a dime that you play for 5 instead of 7, and then you'd have enough ink to use the dime and stuff. It's a good deal. It works. I think it does. Pleakley is an interesting one. He costs 3 ink, and he's got a pretty good stat line on him. Pleakley is the alien attribute as well, which is underrated because there's a little bit of alien synergy floating around, and it's only going to get better with time when you play this character. Put chosen character of yours into your inkwell face down and exert. So if you don't have another character in play, it's got to be Pleakley. He's got to go into the inkwell. Much like playing Madam Mim, Snake, or Fox, like you'd have to banish them if there's no other cards to play. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way with Pleakley, but this card could let you ramp. Maybe you're playing 3 extra ink. Maybe you're playing 3 ink to get 1 extra ink, which is essentially what Fishbone Quill does. Like, you're paying 3 ink to ink 1 extra card. Like, why not just pay the 3 ink and ink Pleakley extra? Kind of takes the spot. Kind of a good deal. Not the best deal. As the duly appointed representative for the Galactic Council, I volunteer for this assignment. And if you look closely, kind of looks like Mike Wazowski grew some legs. Am I right? Ayo. What else was on this card? What was on that pine tree? What kind of palm tree do you know has tattoos? What's going on here? And look at this hidden Mickey. Whoa! And is that a hidden Mike Wazowski? Whoa! The Hero Hamada pairs super well with the Oswald because you can stack the deck. You can exert, pay 2 ink, search your deck for an item card or robot card, and reveal it to all players. Shuffle your deck and put that card on top of it. So you can run really niche things. You can run cards like the Fang's Crossbow that banishes chosen character. You can run stuff like Poison Apple, which banishes a princess character. Or you can run stuff like Sword of Truth or other stuff that helps you banish very specific characters. Or you can just play it to use Lucky Dime and then you ink a card. And then Oswald looks at the top card, which you already stacked up there with Hero. It's a good wombo combo. Oswald Hero, know it. Believe it. Hey, hey. Not so tricky chicken. He's got the Storyborn Ally, the 2/2 stat line. What's he doing? What is he better from being entangled from Ursula? Or what's going on here? I don't like the shape of these pointy, spiky seaweeds, right? Eat anything. When you play this character, exert chosen opposing item. It can't ready at the start of its next turn. Stop them from using their dime on their Tamatoa. Pretty cool. During your turn, this character gains evasive. Also, all right. I don't know. I don't know. We need a good hey shift to make me believe. And I want to believe. This is Sour Bill, that surly henchman. He's got the unpalatable ability. When you play this character, chosen opposing character gets -2 strength this turn. It quests for 2, and it can save you in a challenge. You play this when you want to challenge a character. If you don't want to take the damage back, boom, you do it. I think that this card is pretty good in sealed tournaments. I think outside of that, it's not very playable. But it is kind of aggro. Quest for 2. Maybe it's good. But if this ability lasted until the start of your next turn, that'd be so sick. You want me to go back in there? Fine. If you do, you won't come back out. I don't know what Sour Bill is from, I'll be honest, but could this be a Mike Wazowski with 2 eyes? This is Nick Wilde, and I just am so perplexed why Nick Wilde can't be next to Nick Wilde. Why is he separated by a card in your collection binders? I'll never know. This is Nick Wilde, and he's holding on to Life Preserver, where this Nick Wilde is likely the Nick Wilde that threw him the Life Preserver. Am I right? This is the Soggy Fox, and that couldn't be more true. Look at him. He's all soggy. Storyborn ally at the 1/2 stat line. You put him down for 1 while you have another character with support in play. This character gets +2 strength. This can go to a 3/2 character, which is kind of like Moana the Pirate, but you have to have a character with support in play. What character with support are you going to have in play? Glad you could make it. Does this only just pair with the Judy Hopps card? Not this one. This one. Is this the Life Preserver that she's throwing? And this one has support. If you have her in play, then he gets extra lore. This is... what? What is going on? What's in the background of that card? We talked about this in our Amber video of Azurite Sea that we posted a few weeks ago. But this week we're talking about Sapphire cards. And not Judy Hopps. But that's definitely who he's talking to in that card. While you have a character with support play, this character gets +2 strength. Not bad. That means that Medusa can still get it, if you know what I'm saying. This was Wasabi, and that sure does look pointy, ouchy, oofy. The Methodical Engineer. 3/3 stat line, pretty good, but you play it for his abilities. When you play this character, you may banish chosen item. Its player gains 1 more. So if you're 1 more short of getting the win, this could be your go. And it has, during your turn, this character gains evasive. So it can take out enemy Diablos. But who am I to say? Is that all I say about evasive every time? I think so. I need to figure out a different thing to say about evasive and why it's good. You can quest without being challenged yourself. I like that more than take out enemy Diablos. Nick Fox, the Sly Fox, Nick Wilde. 1/3 stat line, which is very reminiscent of this 1/2 stat line, more like 1/3 stat line. You can shift this on to Nick Wilde, and it says if you have an item in play, this character cannot be challenged. That's rough. People love challenging characters, and if you have an item in play, good luck doing that. The Sly Fox is not going to be able to get challenged. You can't touch me. Look at him. He's just waving at you from afar. This one should have gotten an enchanted. That's just my opinion. This card is crazy. You can't challenge it if you have an item in play. That's tough. But let the Storm Rage on exist, and they're going to get you, Nick Wilde. This Gadget Hack Wrench is a perspective mouse. She's got some perspective, and she's also ink. She's a 2-cost, 2/3 character. She's got the Ally Inventor. Doesn't even have Hero. Doesn't have any other cool keywords. She does have Inventor, and Inventor is important in this set because you could play an Inventor deck. All the clues pointed to the island, but I never thought I'd see it on a map. Golly, this is incredible. I mean, the island actually exists, so it's technically credible. But still, this is amazing. What's she talking about? Owl Island, dude. This is Dr. Delbert Doppler, and this was one of my Santa Came Early cards because we got this before Christmas, and I always wanted to see me a Dr. Delbert Doppler card. If you don't know, he rizzes up Captain Amelia, and they have like 4 cards together. Come on. The Fussy Astronomer. This is the Rizzlord. Nanny McPhee? You know what I'm saying? The 4-cost 4/4 stat line, of course it all makes perfect sense. That's why my old star charts are useless. Every star in the sky here is different. So bro's like, where am I? The realm of Lorcana or something? How did he get here with all of his star charts? I don't know what's going on with that. That's kind of like the horse before the wagon, if you know what I'm saying. That's how the wagon gets going. Toshida Hamada, if you don't know, this guy, in a fire, no less. Three stat line, let's get back to work. This character gets +1 strength and +1 willpower for each item you have in play. You know how many items you can have in play? A whole lot. I've seen Tamatoa decks with like 19 items in play, and then they quest once, and then they win the game. Am I right? This one could have just as many willpower. That's so cool. Get a whole bunch of willpower with Toshida, and then you're good to go. And +1 strength, so it's unmeduceable. I don't know. Quest for 3? That's what's for dinner tonight. People are going to be running I Find My Platinum just to get rid of some items, if you know what I'm saying. This is Hero Hamada, but he's not a Floodborn, which is interesting because we have this hero, and why couldn't he just Floodborn onto him? Because this is just him from the anime. 1/5 stat line, pretty good. Your other inventor characters gain +1 resist. That's the inventor synergies that we like to see. Resist is okay with us. For 2 ink, look at the top card of your deck, put it on either top or bottom of your deck. So you can even stack Oswald with another hero card. Hero and Oswald, they go together, peanut butter and concrete. You know what I'm saying? This is another Toshida. He's the inventor of Baymax. Look at him. He's making Baymax right there. That's Baymax in that little suitcase. Storyboard mentor. Inventor. During an opponent's turn, when this character is banished, you may put the top card of your deck into your ink while face unexerted. Then put this card into your inkwell face down. That's 2 ink if this card is banished. And it can quest for 2. So you quest for 2. This thing gets challenged. It's banished. Top card ink. Next card ink. That's pretty cool. I like it a lot. His work lives on because he's, am I right? That's why his work has to live on, because he's not. Baymax, the personal healthcare companion. That's his whole thing. I am healthcare, yabba-da-dee-da. Fully charged. If you have an inventor character in play, you pay 1 less to play this character. You could essentially play this character for free. If you have 3 inventor characters in play, it's a robot character, so it can be searched out by hero. It says 2 ink, remove up to 1 damage from another chosen character. Da-boo-dee-boo. Why do I think that it talks like a minion? And it's got one of the enchanted cards, and you can see what he's doing. And the enchanted card is kind of lifting his hand up. What? Why is his hand over there? What is this? Healthcare. I am healthcare. This is Baymax. He's not a Floodborn. He is the Storyborn. What's this one? Dreamborn? Storyborn also. This one is also Storyborn, and it's got hero on his back, and they're hanging out. 2/6 stat line. Not good. The 3. No. 2 lore. When you play this character and whenever he quests, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character of yours. Gain 1 more for each 1 damage removed this way. So if you move 2 damage, you get 2 lore. And if you have Grand Pappy, you get even more. This is Yokai from Yokai's Watch, Professor Callaghan. Oh, wow. That's Professor, but over here, he's a big scary guy in a trench coat that starts a fire and then makes Toshida. I'm probably saying his name terribly wrong. I'm sorry. Tadashi? There we go. The 122 stat line. This is his flavor text says, you are a brilliant scientist and inventors. Think of what you could do with this little device. That is the Sapphire Chromicon. Ooh, how do you push the boundaries of what's possible? I'll never know. Hiram Flaversham, a new stat line that we haven't seen before. 2 ink, 0, 2 willpower. So it's not like Olivia or Pinocchio or Simba. It has 2 willpower instead of the 1/1 split. It's got the 2, and it quests for 3. That's a huge amount of lore. And it looks like he's got the Rulian gyro sense right there in his hands. This is Yokai. But I thought this was Yokai. But I thought this was Yokai. This is a 3rd Yokai, 9 cost. That's a huge amount of ink for a huge amount of willpower. Look at that, 10 willpower. That's crazy. You may play items named Microbots for free. Are you kidding me? That's pretty cool. I like that. Whenever this character quests, draw a card for each opposing character with 0 strength. So Microbots gives negative strength. So if you give a whole bunch of other characters negative strength, you can go to a whole bunch of more Microbots, and then you can give people negative strength. Then you can draw cards, and then use a 6/10. He only quests for 2, but that's okay because he has 10 willpower. A weird card. Definitely weird. This is Alice, and I really like this. This is a super rare. I really think that this is a good card, and you can tell because the foil is $9. Foils usually aren't that crazy. It's got ward, so it's going to survive the turn that it's played to be able to use its ability, which is going to be great. It says whenever this character quests another chosen character yours gets +1 lore and gains ward until the start of your next turn. That's so good, dude. We love at the start of your turn checks. And giving other characters ward is so good. I played this in a couple of blue decks, and I think it is actually one of the best cards to come out of this set for sure. On to our actions and song cards. This is the We Could Be Immortals. If you didn't know, this is sung by Fallout Boy. Your inventor characters gain resist +6 this turn. Then you put this card in your inkwell, face down and exerted. Not only does it ramp, but it gives you resist 6. So that could give this card resist 6. So that'd be 16 willpower, essentially. That'd be too much, am I right? Overall, a great art. And who is that in the background? Is that Fred? That is Fred. That's a good deal. Sail the Azurite Sea, another one of the best cards coming out of this set. It says this turn you may put an additional, that's a keyword, card from your hand in your inkwell face down, draw a card. So you don't have to ink to draw the card yet, but you have the ability to ink an additional card. The additional keyword means that it has to be inkable, and you have to show it to your opponent. You have to be like, hey, look at this, it has ink, I'm inking it. It can't be any card. So you got to know the stipulations there. You need a good plan and an even better luck to make it across the treacherous waters. That's crazy. It's a good card. Definitely should have had an enchanted because it's one of the most playable cards. Helping hand. Look at that. What is she giving her? Is that the Sapphire Chromacon? And is this Bellwether? Is this supposed to be Judy Hopps? Oh, Judy Hopps. When you're making the world a better place, every little thing helps. Is this the Sapphire Chromacon? It's too bright. I can't see. It says chosen character gains support this turn. Draw a card. That's pretty good because if you give a chosen character support, then this character gets 2 strength. But then it goes away this turn. Weird wombo combo there with Nick, but we're reading the cards in order, so that's just what I was thinking. I like that you can draw a card. I liked support. Overall, not the best. Overall, kind of useful. I'm sure that there could be a build where you'd want to give support to a character. Like lots of your characters a quest. And imagine giving Tamatoa support just so he could buy back a popsicle or something and go on a quest, and then you can give 5 strength to somebody. Tamatoa's a 5/8 character. I think it'd be worth it. Do you think it'd be worth it? Lieutenant Diane? Prepare your bots. Action card, choose one. Ready, chosen item, don't mind if I do. Or ready, chosen robot character. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. We have a couple of robot characters. We got Baymax. And we got Ben. That's right, Robot Ben. Zappity-bebop. You could use your Fishbone Quill twice. You could use your Lucky Dime twice. You could use your Sapphire Chromacon twice. You couldn't use your Popsicles twice, but that's okay. Baymax healthcare chip. This is the healthcare chip that you gotta put in Baymax. What are they drawing over here? Is that inside of Baymax? Is that his bones? The item card, 10,000 medical procedures. You exert it, choose one. Remove up to 1 damage from chosen character. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Or if you have a robot character in play, remove up to 3 damage from chosen character. Pretty good. Kind of like a gumbo pot. Could help with Grand Pabby, if you know what I'm saying. This is Microbots. Microbots has a really fun ability that says you may have any number of cards named Microbots in your deck. And this is the only card that will ever be named Microbots because it doesn't have a subtitle. Like, you know how locations have the name and then also a subname? This is the only card named Microbots. And it can only ever be the only card named Microbots. It can't be Microbots 2 because then it wouldn't work because that'd be Microbots 2. When you play this item, chosen character gets -1 strength this turn for each item named Microbots you have in play. So you could have 99 Microbots in play and give somebody -99 strength, if you know what I'm saying. Overall, not the best. Could help with Tamatoa, but there's better items to play if you know what I'm saying. There's Jumbo Pop, and that's a little, what is that, an elephant holding a popsicle? What's going on there? Banish this item, remove up to 2 damage from each of your characters, from each of them. So like Popsicle does from one character, this does from each of them, and you get to draw a card. It's a whole lot of ink for a little ask. Don't play this. Play Popsicle. The Rescue Ranger Submarine, underrated. There haven't been a lot of decks to utilize this, but I think it's almost just as good as Fishbone Quill. It says at the start of your turn, if you have a character here, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exert. The only deck that is going to be able to take this out is Ruby with the Reckless Gaston. Gaston hits for 4 and has 2 willpower. That's like the only thing that can do 8 willpower of damage fast enough before you get like 2 ramps out of this. Like, you're going to get some ramp out of this. Is it better than Fishbone Quill? You have to use the same amount of ink, but you don't lose your hand advantage like what you do with Fishbone Quill. This is a cool card. It's a good one. Should have been an enchanted, if you know what I'm saying. Institute of Technologists, the prestigious university location. This is where I'm talking about. It has a little second name right there. What was Whiskey Ranger's second name? Mobile Headquarters. The Institute of Technology, the 155, not the best, can be one shot by Maui. Inventor characters get 1 willpower while here. Pretty good. That means that you can make your yokai 11 willpower. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. I'm just a guy. At the start of your turn, if you have a character here, gain 1 more. It only costs 1. Maybe it's cool. Nah, it's not cool. And then we got 3 enchanters in the set. Gadget, Hack Wrench, about a $70 card. Baymax coming around $150. And then the song card, We Could Be Immortal, is $105 right now. We like these enchanters. They're not the worst that we've seen. The worst that we've seen is when we close our eyes and there's no enchanters there. Thanks for watching. We put out new videos every day. Please hit the subscribe button. Mwah.